Okay, question time. Our friend asks me, what is the purpose of your life? Oh my goodness. I said to him, that's a loaded question. Or whoever this person is, him, her. Yes, straight up answer. I already asked myself and couldn't find an answer. So we're all just, toying with what is the purpose of not life in general, but people's specific lives. I mean, how many people out there know what their purpose is in life, and how many people even out there believe that they have a purpose in life? I mean, life's getting pretty dreary. I mean, depending on where you're coming from. For me, as a former member of the Mormon Church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter day Saints, um, you're born into that with a purpose. So you don't really have to ask yourself. I mean, they have what they call a patriarchal blessing that is of high esteem. And when it is given to you, it is basically like telling you your lineage, in a spiritual realm, at least that's how I understood it, and what you are meant to do in this life. But really, it's saying what you're meant to do in the cult itself. Like I said, former member, but being like, that was it. The Mormon Church was everything. They tell you how to dress, how to talk, as women, your purpose, and not that there's anything wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with it if you want to do it, but your purpose as a woman is to be a wife and mother. That is of the highest esteem, and I get that that's great. But I've known a lot of women, even when I was younger, in the church and outside of the church, where that was never there. It was just not going to happen. There was one woman in particular, and we all were like, oh, she's so beautiful. She's so successful. How come she's never gotten married? And I cringed when people, because I was just like, maybe she doesn't want to get married. Oh no, that can't be it. How could any woman ever not want to get married? So, skipping into my 20s, I had a feeling that that was not going to be my lot in life. I had a feeling that it was going to be up to me to take care of myself. I had a feeling, and this wasn't like some spiritual revelation. This was just some core, you're going to have to do some shit your own. You're going to have to get a job and make your own money, because for women, it was just like, you're going to marry your return missionary husband, and he's going to take care of you financially, and you'll do everything else. He'll have his 9 to 5, and you'll have your 24/7 Wonderfest of serving everybody and barely having any time for yourself. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had a couple of men who did want to get married to me. And I was just like, why do we gotta do this? Why do we gotta get married? I don't understand. But I think that for these men, they wanted to have that life. They wanted to have the babies, and they wanted to work their 9 to 5 and have, I don't know, her raise the kids and cook for them and clean for them. I don't know. It's just, maybe that's my Mormon cult brain, spasming. And at this time, I had already started doing the body modifications. I was already experimenting with the stripe branding and what it meant to me, and I was getting my very first tattoo in my early 20s, and I was excited to. I was still in the church, so that's the funny part. Haha, funny. But not very long after that, it was just like, no, I'm sick and tired of being shamed for how I look. I'm sick and tired of being shamed for how I want to live. I'm sick and tired of being shamed, because that's what they do in a cult. They make you feel bad about yourself, that you are nothing without them. And I realized, no, I am great without you. In fact, I am better without you. After I left, I was never happier. I was never freer. I was never feeling more empowered to just go and live my life without this cult telling me how and what to do. Now, my family, ooh, they weren't happy about it. They weren't happy about the tattoos and the scars. They wanted me to cover up my skin at family reunions in July where it was like 95 degrees so that this precious little grandchildren wouldn't see them. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. If you don't want me around, I won't be around. I don't need to be around. Peace out. Bye, Felicia. And they're like, no, we want you around. We don't want you to not come around, blah, blah. We made our peace. Agree to disagree. What is my purpose in this? What is my purpose at this point? And after we agreed to disagree, I continued to come around. And I was around my nieces and nephews, and they were asking questions like, why do you have tattoos? I'm like, because I can. And they're like, well, you're not supposed to. I'm like, no, you're not supposed to. I can do whatever I want. And I wanted to just plant seeds in their minds to let them know, hey, it's your life, not your parents' life. I know there's parents that hate me for that, but eventually kids got to grow up and make their decisions. Do you want them to resent you? Do you want them to hate you? I know that's the parents' job. All right, we're getting off course. But what I'm getting at is that I felt like I was opening my family's mind because they saw that I wasn't a bad person. They saw that I was still me. I was just getting covered in tattoos and body modifications and piercings, but I was still a decent person. Who knew? Who knew that when a church tells you to stay away from the appearance of evil, which was me, that maybe that appearance doesn't mean that they're evil? So I started thinking, I am just going to be myself. I'm going to show people that just because you have tattoos doesn't make you a criminal. I'm going to show people that just because you look a certain way doesn't mean that you're, a felon or whatever. And I started incorporating that in even with people around me. You should know, Southeast Idaho, very much predominantly Mormon area. Mostly Mormons. So I had my work cut out for me. I mean, really all I was doing was living my life and not giving a shit if people didn't like it. Really what I was doing was looking a certain way and not giving a shit if people stared at me. Now my friends, they didn't like it. I still have a friend who gets mad when we're out to lunch, people are staring at me. She hates it, she wants to tell them to go to hell, but I tell her to calm down because it's not a big deal. And as I lived my life and I saw people come to me and they felt the need to tell me things about themselves because of how I look. They felt the need to tell me about maybe a struggling child and what they should do and how they can help them, and I of course offered any advice I could. But first thing I said is to not, tell your kid, if you do that, you're dead to me. If you, it's all about love and acceptance. Who knew? Hell, even a boss I had, she hired me, she had reservations because of my appearance. I had a lot less tattoos back then. And whatever, do my job. I was good at it. And she kind of came to me and broke down one time and said that she was apologizing. I'm like, for what? She's like, I judged you. I judged you because of how you look, and I'm very sorry about that. I'm like, don't worry about it. Like, it's okay. It happens. People do it. But it occurred to me that maybe I'd helped open someone's mind. Maybe my purpose in life is to open people's minds in a small town and let them see that just because, a person looks a certain way doesn't mean that they're an evil person. I still get comments. I get comments from customers saying, wow, what a nice girl. She's so sweet, blah, blah, blah. And that's really weird for me to hear, but because I'm just living my life. I'm just doing my thing. But if my purpose here is to open people's minds in a small community and maybe get the word out that appearances don't mean shit, then I guess my work is done. If that's my job in life, is to just, let people see that, you can't judge a book by its cover necessarily. I'm not saying you shouldn't all the time, but maybe that's my purpose. Who knows? I'm still figuring it out. If you want a part 2, the second thing, my purpose in life is to learn. I've been doing a lot of learning. I continue to learn when it comes to my health. That is very important, and right now I'm on a whole new journey of learning about being healthy and healthier and the next chapter in my life. So keep learning and keep an open mind.